2475 Merrill Avenue, and I second that motion.
Thank
It's
you.
been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. What's up, nay?
What's up? Testing to what the fuck? Testing to why does it sound so low?
Since we really couldn't tell based upon the voice vote, it's recommended that we do a paddle count, so we're gonna redo that. And,
Sorry,
the moderator here will
Oh, wow.
recognize again, and everybody that's voting aye, please raise your paddle nice and high. And
Oh
everybody
wow.
that's voting
Is
nay,
nobody here?
also then raise their paddle nice and high once we get to that.
No, she said once we get to it.
All in favor, please raise your paddle.
Welcome in, everybody. Welcome,
The
welcome.
motion to accept it as written, right?
The motion is to accept it as written.
Okay, but we can still dispute it.
Hold on, let me back up. What happened? Why is nobody here? Is it super early? Welcome in, everybody. How's everybody doing, man? Shit. We got a testing. Why is my shit so low? Testing. There we go. We got a situation today, ladies and gentlemen. Thornton Township meeting. This is probably the last hurrah for Tiffany Henyard, the people's mayor. She did not show up for the Dalton meeting. Shocker. We'll see if she shows up for this meeting, but I think this is the last hurrah. I think this is the final go around. You know, this is the beginning of the meeting. I don't see any of the trustees. Is that Stephanie Wiedemann? I see Stephanie. Oh, I see Gonzalez. I see everybody. So maybe it's early. I know that the meeting is supposed to start at 4:30 apparently, but I turned my laptop on and it's just going. So I just started the meeting immediately. Welcome in, everybody. What's up, Mary Carter, Mark Nugent? How you doing? Boo, I see you. Welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. So we got ourselves a situation, man. I'm about to get myself something fire, and I'm gonna be with you guys in a minute. But let's skip to present situations. I guess the staff just hasn't gotten on the board yet. It's still a little early. I don't see Gonzalez. I don't see. All I see is the lawyer and the assessor. I believe that's the. Is this the assessor? I'm not sure. But anyways, let's get this thing pumping. Let's get this thing rocking. Welcome in, everybody. Let's do it. They're voting on something. See, I came in a little. I guess I'm late. I thought I was early, but maybe we're late.
All opposed, please raise your paddle.
I thought it was 6:30 Illinois time. Welcome in, Randall. Welcome in, Jim,
Ayes have it, the motion carries.
Kiera.
I mean,
Okay, now we will move on to the general fund.
general fund. Okay, back to her.
Listen, I got some gas today, folks. I ain't gonna lie to you. Straight
For
kerosene.
the general fund,
If you know, you know.
the total real estate tax revenue was $8,453,568.74. The total investment income was $1,123,368.53.
Hold on, let me crack it for y'all. Hold on.
Refunds and reimbursements was $544,550.31, bringing the total revenue to $10,121,487.58. The total administration division expenditures were $4,616,808.91. The total special services division
Gas,
expenditures
fam.
were $95,038.75. The HAP division expenses
She's not gonna show up.
were $899,713.12. The Department of Youth Services
Rolling up my
expenditures
tobacco and whatnot.
were $1,226,480.93. The Transportation Division was $908,117.15. The Community Outreach and Engagement Department was $1,218,850.54. The Senior Services Division was $1,637,408.89. The Cemetery Department was $12,000. The Clerk's Department was $41,279.30. And the Assessor's Division was $369,571.04.
And I feel like a lot of these expenditures that they're talking about, a lot of these things, you know, like I said, somebody has to cover these motherfuckers, bro. Somebody's got to cover these expenses. And I feel like a lot of this shit they're going to drop on Tiffany. But let me keep up for the moment.
A deficit of $903,781.05.
You said a deficit?
Deficit.
Deficit? Okay, I thought I heard that.
The total assets for the general fund were $19,785,140.28. The total liabilities were $99,720.00.
What's up, Monica?
Bringing the ending fund balance to $5,585,419.92.
Okay, that's not a deficit, at least.
The total cash on hand as of February 28th, 2025 was $6,260,549.96. And the total investments on hand as of February 28th, 2025 was $5,816,611.88.
And you see how they're giving us all these numbers? Do you know that for the Tiffany administration, I don't think the people have ever gotten these numbers before. I feel like they just recently were able to figure everything out more or less, and they can finally report to the people. Because remember, the trustees didn't even know this stuff. Halfway through the year, everybody's trying to ask. Tiffany was the only source of information. She was the only source of information for anybody. You couldn't go to the assessor. You couldn't go to the clerk for FOIA because FOIA's fucked. You couldn't go to anybody but Tiffany or maybe Keith Freeman. Honestly, Keith Freeman was the main person you needed to go to. But now it's just kind of interesting to see, oh, people go up to the stands. Oh, people have something to say now. This lady probably has a whole job now because Tiffany isn't over here hogging all the fucking information. It's crazy. It's just something that you don't see all the time in Dalton, or I should say in the Thornton Township.
The total tax levy for 2024 general fund was $12,995,000.
Remember, they're trying to pass the tax levy. They're trying to do all that stuff. So I just got into this, into the meeting. Apparently it started at 4 or something. But what it's seeming like is that we're finally understanding the true deficit that the township is facing now.
$356, and the total amount of outstanding indebtedness was $278,639.04.
Let me finish rolling
What was
my
that last
shit.
category? I'm sorry.
It's the total amount of outstanding indebtedness.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm
Is
not
there
gonna
a
say
motion to accept the general fund report as presented?
So that's the general fund report. Okay. We're going to pay attention from here on. Tiff is at home with her dude watching while they smoke out. Probably. We got Kiana Belcher in the situation with the white.
Kiana Belcher, 742 Evans Court, Dalton, Illinois. I make a motion to approve the red general fund numbers.
Right, definitely numbers.
So, okay, you guys got to let me know what's happening. I thought the board did this shit. I'm back with someone. What's up, Mary? Welcome back. What's up? Who is Dickie? I'm confused. I thought the board voted for a general assistant fund. What I'm starting to realize, or what it's starting to look like, is that because Tiffany's not there and because Darlene Gray Everett's not there or something, the crowd gets to vote on it. I am confused. But anyways, I've never seen them do something like this before.
Valerie Stubbs, 14801 Martin Luther King, Dalton, Illinois.
You guys let me know if you understand why. Why is the crowd voting for the General Assistance Fund? Is it because it's from last year and we need a budget, so we just need to get this over with?
Thank you.
It's very interesting that these numbers are relevant now that she has no say.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
My name is Paul Roberts, 18525 Clyde Avenue in Lansing. And I'm sorry to be a gadfly landing in your cooked bowl of porridge. But my question was, before the general assistance was presented, we were informed that there was no one here to answer questions. So why are you asking for questions or discussion? If I am allowed to ask a question, it is to the Kasperick firm. Are you willing to audit this year's report?
Mr. Roberts, if I can explain,
From last year.
if I can explain, these are unaudited reports. So these reports come, and that's what the statute provides, is that these are unaudited reports. The township undergoes an annual audit, so every year there is an audit of these funds. So
Well,
there
where
will
do
be
these
an audit,
numbers
but this
come
is a
from?
requirement of the township code that unaudited reports be presented at the annual town meeting, so you guys can get a snapshot of where you're at right now.
That we're being.
I wonder if Tiffany and Leotis are watching live. What are they up to? Tiffany, listen, man. Tiffany, right now the meetings have been going too well. Well, the moment something controversial starts to happen, that's when Tiffany pops out and starts tweaking all folks. I think she understands that there's nothing she could do, so she's laying low. But best believe, guys, this may be the end of Tiffany's political career, but this is not the end of Tiffany. We're going to have to start calling her Super Tiffany in the titles. You know how I used to always call her Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard? It's like a title format. Soon we're just going to title that bitch Super Tiffany Freaks Out in Parking Lot. But don't worry, she'll be around. And that's why I always cover these meetings until she's out of office, because you never quite know.
Asked whether to accept.
You never know what you might do.
Aren't we being asked to vote on accepting fact or fiction?
No,
Right.
you're just being asked to accept that
The
the report
numbers.
was presented and that the report says what it says.
Oh, that's a
It's not-
no-brainer. Why are you asking us?
Well, that's what I was trying to explain at the beginning, is that, you're not voting on whether you agree with the numbers that are in the report, whether
Okay.
the numbers are an accurate reflection, because again, these are
Sorry, Al.
unaudited reports, and the statute does provide that unaudited reports get presented at the annual town meeting. So that's why you're being asked to accept it, to put it on file, and then it'll be kept on file with the township. And at the audit time is when all these accounts do get audited, and they do get audited once a year.
Ooh.
And those audit reports are uploaded to the comptroller's office.
Guys, I'm telling you, did you guys pay attention? I'm glad he asked that question because I wasn't too sure myself. These are just all the bills from the year before. That's what I'm seeing from this. All the bills, and we're just accepting that they're there so we could put them on file. Because if you remember, Tiffany didn't have nothing on file. Tiffany just had Keith Freeman, and she was just doing her thing on the side. Documents weren't being provided. I'm pretty sure the receipts were there. It's not like the receipts just got burnt up and put in flames or anything. They were there. She was just hiding them from everybody. So what did she say? Next year is auditing time. It's once a year. Somebody has to get paid. You understand what I'm saying? The Tiffany Henyard signs. What else was she doing? The Tahoes with the interest rate. Well, that might be township problem. Just all the personal little things, the trips out to Vegas, all those things, when that gets audited, listen, somebody's got to get paid. Who do you think is going to end up paying it? I doubt the township. Tiffany's going to get fucked.
Okay, so I want to know what is gonna come from this record. Why are we voting for something that we don't have what we're supposed to have? We went through this the last time.
I'm sorry, can you step up to the microphone?
We went through this the last time. Why are we voting on stuff that we don't have the initial and the real papers? If this is not ready, we should not be voting on this.
The statute requires,
I don't care what the statute requires.
Well, I
We're
mean,
not
I
doing
do,
this.
because I'm a lawyer.
I said I don't. I didn't ask what you care about.
see, guess what? We don't need ignorance, sweetie. We don't need the stinking in here. Smells a little stinky. We don't need the ignorance. You know what I'm saying? It's smelling a little foul in here. Tiffany's not here. Everybody just chill the fuck out. She's coming. I understand what they're saying. Even if there was like $1 trillion in bills for Thornton Township, if someone's been hiding that information, you have to put the $1 trillion on file just to contest it. Where are you going to contest if there's nothing on file? So,
I said, I don't think that it's fair for us to be looking at something that you have not definitely made accountable. I'm back there looking at this paper, rattling through it, finding the numbers. I'm not gonna let you make a fool out of me.
Ma'am, I'm not trying to.
Okay, so
I'm
let's start
explaining
over
to
again.
you-
Let's start over.
I'm explaining what the
Let's start
statute
over.
requires.
Let's start over.
Your name and address.
see, that's just ignorance. But I'll tell you on top of that, guys, this is step one from the bullshit Tiffany Henyard has left behind. You think this is the end of the ignorance? No, there's going to be a lot more ignorance to come. And all of it, I should say a lot of it, in this particular township is because of Tiffany. So you got grandma over here worried, irritated, not understanding. Hey, don't blame the lawyer. The lawyer's been getting bashed by Tiffany for her entire 4-year career out here so far. Listen, blame Tiffany. Blame Tiffany. Now, that's the reason we're in the dark voting for shit.
Kiana Belcher again. Just for discussion purposes, when this is put into records, it has on hand February 29, 2024. It may be a typo, but dates matter. So please make sure that those dates are corrected because this wasn't a leap year. This has last year's date on there. And this is 2025.
Which page are you referring to? Because there's a
12
couple
or
places.
15.
12 and 15.
Thank you, Kiana.
That's general fund.
So I think that that's a reflection of
approving last
what
year's
was
budget.
occurred last year.
Okay.
I'm starting to understand why Tiffany didn't show up for this because this is a lot of the mess that she kind of stirred up. You know when you make like you know those pressure cookers, you open that bitch and they explode if you open it too cold. True story. My mom opened it a little too early one time. That bitch blew up all over the kitchen. Right? She let my dad clean that shit. She didn't want to clean that. This is the equivalent of blowing up your fucking pressure cooker in the kitchen and walking out the room because you don't want to clean it up now. That's what Tiffany did in real life. That's why she didn't show up.
And the bottom total is what is happening now. So that's to show you the difference between the numbers from last year and the numbers from this year.
Right, but at the top it says cash on hand. So of last year, the cash on hand was 11 million, or is the cash on hand 11 million for 2025?
Last year. That's my
Okay, so
understanding of
this-
how the report reads.
So the report reads, so as a breakdown of cash on hand, February 28, 2025 would be this year's number.
Correct, the 6
Okay, I just
million.
want clarification so we can make sure that, because it is a little confusing the way it's broke down when it's given last year's information.
Understood,
All right.
understood.
She's so fucked, guys. Listen, the residual fallout.
Clarification.
The residual fallout from this run that she's had. Excuse me. The residual fallout from this run that Tiffany's had is going to be catastrophic. Is going to be a catastrophic failure in her bank account. I promise you that. You might want to go and pawn those wigs. go ahead and fucking wash them as much as you can. Put some detergent in that bitch. Scrub them up real good. You know what I'm saying? Lather it down and put them bitches back on the market because you're gonna need it. How much can I get for it? I pay $10,000. Can I get $1,000 for it? That's what you're gonna be hearing from Tiffany.
Question, we're not voting to pay these items until they're already paid. You're just voting, this is what you're presenting to us.
Yeah.
And we're just saying, yes, this is what you presented, because the trustees have already voted for this.
Right.
So yes, correct. Basically, what it is saying is that this is what has already been done, if you will. This is this is supposed to be a reflection, an unaudited reflection.
Exactly. See what you, that's why I say it's ignorance. You can't get mad. You got to think about it. There hasn't been much reported, bro. That's what all the channels have been living on for the past for the past years, you know? Things have been real shady. So now we're trying to bring everything to the forefront. Key word, it's unaudited, which means we understand that it's bullshit, but we got to put something down.
Of what has been spent, what has been brought in, what the investments have yielded, and so on. So all these things that are detailed in the report, that's supposed to be a snapshot of what's happening right now. And moving forward, once the fiscal year is done and the fiscal year is audited, any sort of discrepancies would be corrected in the final audit. So this is basically a snapshot of where we're at now. It's as if, you're looking at your own finances and, before you do your taxes, say 6 months prior to do your taxes, you're looking at, okay, where am I at right now? What's my money flow and what's my possible tax liability going to be later? And then later when you do your taxes, that might change. So this is just a snapshot of what's happening now. And again, it is an unaudited report. I do understand that causes people some angst. That's not something that we have any charge over. It is what the state statute requires. It is that an unaudited.
Tiff and friends bought up real estate as well, didn't they? Apparently, yes. Tiffany is apparently was a renter. She was renting shit out or something like that. Yes, apparently she does have some real estate. I don't know what's up with her whole real estate ventures, but I've heard rumor that she does have. They call her the slumlord, apparently. Slumlord Tiffany.
Valerie Stubbs, 14801 Chicago Road, Dublin, Illinois. So let me get a little clarity. So allegedly, this is supposed to be correct, and this is what we're voting on. It might change, and it might not change. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it's just, all your vote is to say that this is what was presented at the meeting.
This is what you're presenting to us, and it might not necessarily be right, but it might be right.
Correct. And it'll be confirmed.
And it's probably wrong.
And I mean, this is the way the statute's written, so we just have to comply with what the statute requires us to do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
See, and that's the opposite of ignorance right there. You ask a question, you understand it, you move on, We can't, I think that lady who came up earlier, she got that Tiffany Henyard bug. That shit contagious, That shit could be contagious. And I think, she rubbed off on a few people, but we just got to rewrite the culture of the workplace. You understand what I'm saying? We just got to rewrite it a little bit because Tiffany done fucked this shit up, making everybody feel like this is some sort of a Jerry Springer episode when it's not. This is politics. What do they say? Politics is supposed to be boring. The more boring it is, the better it's going. The more interesting it is, the worse it is. Typically, that's how it goes,
Hi, Dan Lee, 15249 Dante Avenue, Thornton, Illinois. In the event that these figures are proved inaccurate, could you kind of walk us through briefly about what happens after that?
Exactly. Good question. Good question. Who pays for it? Good question. Who the fuck pays for it? That's what I want to know.
These numbers have been proven to be, say, tampered with. What are the next steps, at least to your knowledge anyway, that happens? And will there be another meeting to confirm the confirmed numbers, or will we be here next year doing this again?
So every year you're going to do this. This is a requirement of the annual town meeting.
I mean, as far as these figures are concerned, is what I'm concerned. what I'm
Oh,
talking
so
about.
these figures will be fleshed out at the audit, when
Yeah.
the township does its audit. And the audit does get presented to the board for approval. So when the audit does get presented to the board for approval, which is usually sometime after the fiscal year has been done.
Which is at what date?
What's your fiscal year?
It's like June.
March to February?
really haven't.
March to February, so.
March
I don't
or
know if the
February, they
audit
don't
is in
even know.
process yet. That would be a
March
question
to
for
February.
Mr.
Oh, what?
Martin.
Hold on.
He's not
He's
here,
faking
so I
sick
don't know
today.
if the audit is in process. Actually, I can
Right.
tell you, I do believe the audit is in process, and the reason I say that, the reason
Mar-
I say
wait,
that
what?
is as an attorney, our law firm, if we have any litigation cases that we're handling for the township or any sort of potential liabilities, we get an audit letter requesting us to present certain information to the auditor. We have received and responded to that letter to the best of my knowledge. So-
I think I get what she's saying.
She did say March. That's funny.
So,
You
so the
say
audit,
that, you say that tells you the audit is in progress, or?
it is in progress. It is.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. I thought you were still looking for an auditor.
No, I believe that we do have an auditor.
Yeah, that was on
Okay.
their last
So the
agenda.
audit is in process, and the audit will be.
No, that was for
Will be
Dalton. That was
presented
for
at
Dalton.
a board meeting, and it will be made available for the public to review.
You can just ask as many questions as you want.
Gallery sales, 14801, Chicago, Martin Luther King. I have one more question for Conspiracy Group. What did she got?
Right, I just wanted to get out of the way.
Where's Chris?
So-
I think they're just, this is a town vote. I think this is going to be a longer meeting. I think the town is just not voting, but they're acknowledging the bills and the expenditures and all that, and then they're going to start the meeting. So Chris is not up there. Stephanie Wiederman's not up there. Theoretically, Tiffany Henyard isn't up there because it's a separate section apparently.
Prepare annual, do you all prepare an annual report to present to the board to show where you need to cut your expenditures? Do you do that here?
So,
What is she? Hold on, my dog's making noises, bro.
we do not show where to cut expenditures because that's ultimately not our decision as an auditor. It's management's decision of where things are gonna get cut. But what we do,
Suggestions, that's what I meant, suggestions.
so our firm is separated by consulting team and auditing team. I'm on the consulting team, so I don't work on the audit side as often. Usually, if there's something that blatantly stand out to us, we'll let the management know, but it's not necessarily anything in a presentation. If you request that of us,
Excuse me.
that's not saying that we
God damn.
couldn't do that, but that's not typically part of the auditing procedure for any, office or prepared.
Okay. In the village of Dalton,
Okay?
every year, you all prepared and gave it to the board on your suggestions, and let me correct what I said, suggestions on where we should cut the spending or where we can increase the spending.
Okay, so the difference is that that's consulting contract, and you're asking about the audit. We also do have a consulting contract with you guys, so if you guys engage us to help you with that, we could help you with that. But that's not the difference between the audit and the consulting side. So you're asking about audit, that's why it's a different classification. So yes, we could do that for you, but it wouldn't necessarily be on the audit side, it would be more on the consulting side.
Okay, thank you.
And if I may add something, every audit also contains a management letter.
That's what I meant, the management letter, I
Yes, so,
couldn't think of
and
it.
that's what I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, I was talking about the management letter.
Yeah, and so the management letter typically says, okay, here's what you're doing right, here's what you're doing wrong, here's where you can fix things, here's some holes in your processes and procedures that need to be plugged up. So it essentially tries to, it doesn't tell you where and how to spend per se, but it tells you how to track things better so that you are more accountable.
Exactly, and you all didn't do that for the township.
So our firm for the 24 audit, once again, I was not on that audit, so I don't know what that letter contained.
Nah, the lady in the red dress, that's Valerie Stubbs, and I don't blame her. Shit, it's probably gonna be a lot less trust with anybody in office, especially amongst the seniors, for a while because of what Tiffany did. So Valerie's over there just asking all these questions because, hey, not trying to get fucked again. Granted, these are just lawyers and stuff. But after Tiffany, I don't even blame her.
Because I am on the consulting side. But yes, we did prepare one of those management letters for 2024.
Yeah, management letters,
Interesting.
they accompany almost every single audit I have ever seen in my 20+ years of practicing in this area, so I don't think I've ever seen an audit without a management letter. And so, yeah, I mean, and some of them are
What's up,
1 or 2
Susan?
pages, and some of them are 20 to 30.
And it is a requirement, even if there is no, like, if there is no suggestions, then it just says.
Prepare.
Any sort of.
I haven't had the time to go through everything, but I just have some questions. I might have more later, but for now, what is the TT Foundation? Thornton Township Foundation that we paid $57,000?
So a lot of times, and this happens with a lot of different other townships as well as park districts, libraries and stuff like that. It's sort of a fundraising arm to allow for additional money to come in that's not coming through the taxpayers. So, for instance, Township Foundation, again, it's a fundraising arm to allow the
Donation.
I'm just trying to find the right word.
You want me to help you out? I'll help you out here.
The added
I
funds,
can help you.
the added funds.
So what happens with some grants is that.
Who is this lady?
I want to make sure I have the mic. So what happens is there's certain grants that can't come to government bodies, but they can come for non-for-profits. So if you have a non-for-profit, which Thornton Township Foundation is, then you can receive additional funds to do like food pantries and that kind of stuff. So it's basically other way to get additional funds to help the residents.
So what was the expenditure to them? That seems like that's money coming in, this is going out. So I'm curious.
So the money going out, so a lot of the times with the expenditures going out would be like if the township paid for some food to go into the pantry.
We've
I
got
don't
that
know.
as a different item, as money going into.
Okay, so I did not prepare this report, so I'm not 100% sure what line went in there. So I'd have to look at the GL to see.
So it's on page 4 of the general assistance, hold on to which report. Because, and the only reason is, there doesn't seem to be anybody who can answer the question. I'm gonna carry on with my other questions. But, you know, like you said, I understand explanation, but
Yes.
that's money coming in, we're showing that as money going out. Oh, okay, I'm
And I
sorry,
would
what I
suggest
was
also
saying
there's,
is,
and you know, certainly go on with your questions, but I would also suggest that if there's any questions that we
What's up,
here
Rochelle?
are unable to answer, we do
Rachel,
apologize,
sorry.
we just don't, we're not the people that drafted the report.
okay, but you're asking to vote on it.
But we're
Okay,
just
let's
asking you to
go on.
vote on accepting the report, we're not asking you to vote on whether everything in there is accurate. We're just saying that this is what was presented at the board, at the meeting today. So,
Right.
if there are questions that you guys have that we cannot answer, I do suggest that you forward those questions to the finance director.
Welcome in, Barbara Ann.
Ask those questions directly, or also you can file through.
Hell yeah, everybody hit the like button. Hell yeah, I appreciate y'all.
Who's our auditor?
Kasperik's office.
Casper's still the auditor, okay. And, I had a question. What is outreach? Can anybody answer that? It's under community and outreach and engagement for $269,000. What is outreach outside of all the other things that are?
Another scam.
Maybe one of Tiffany new.
Another
I
scam.
don't know exactly what that would be, what that would entail.
See what I'm saying?
Just as a general-
And everybody's kind of irritated. I'm gonna skip her forward, but everybody's irritated. Outreach for $200,000. This, oh god, it's the ignorant lady. All these bills that we're acknowledging, you have to acknowledge them. You have to. I mean, as a community, right? Even if they're wrong, it's almost like accepting that you have a problem before fixing it. You have to accept that you have a problem. And I feel like a lot of people are just, I think taxes are probably going to go up. I think because of all these expensive ass bullshit situations that are happening. So now it's about some money. Now everybody's mad. And this is what happens. You have somebody like Tiffany who fucks it all up. And then now the problem is just ongoing. Now the people behind her have to deal with it.
He is
I'm
not.
back again. I want to ask you, why are you asking us to vote on this if it's not accurate? I mean, when the next...
Lady, what the fuck? We just explained to you why. Did Tiffany send this lady? Tiffany, is this you? Did she put earplugs in while they were explaining it? I think she just said, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. The whole time. She kept saying, shut up out loud, so she couldn't hear anything. Because what the fuck?
He is
I'm
not.
back again. I want to ask you, why are you asking us to vote on this if it's not accurate? I mean, when the trustees come in, they're gonna pick up this crap that you trying to sell to us. They're gonna be already sitting in office. Why don't you get it straight first? Bring it back to us in March. You don't want it now. I don't. Everybody else wanna go for these numbers? Good for you. But for me, no. Because the trustees that's coming in now is picking up the old trash that's here already. They don't need this. Get it straight, bring it back to us in March.
Okay.
Man.
Well, at least it wasn't ignorance. But if you keep kicking it down the road, it's not going to, these things, people need to get paid. Contracts need to get paid off. I feel, you know what I'm saying? So you can't just, they're not going to do that.
Everybody's saying March.
15101 Blackstone in Dalton. I have a question and a statement. Mary Avon, 15101 Blackstone, Dalton. Is Mr. Hunt the only person in finance that could have spoken to this? Is it a one-man office or? I'm curious.
I know that he's the one that drafted the report. I don't know if there's.
And it's kind of interesting that Hunt didn't show up. Remember Hunt, the one with the lisp, with the high pants, with the little tucked in, the one that the innocent looking one, the one that doesn't look like he belongs with the Tiffany crew. He just randomly was absent today, huh? Just a little absent. Don't worry. I caught the COVID. I had to take a little couple weeks off. Very convenient.
Somebody else available in his office, so we had, somebody to be able to present it. And that's why somebody from Kasparik's office is here, because at least they understand the numbers. They didn't compare the numbers, but they understand how.
And I have a little bit of a problem with that because they're the auditors that I would think, if anything, an auditor would have gone over this and been prepared to answer our questions. That was my statement.
Well, they were just asked today because we
And
just found
that's
out
a problem
today that.
because this meeting was posted when?
Right, but Mr.
And
Hunt
Mr.
just.
Hunt took sick today?
Yeah, Mr. Hunt just informed everybody. that-
Hello.
Makes it make sense. We should not accept even what is presented to us. Because I could have run these numbers off of a Xerox machine. Thank you.
She do have a point.
Any additional discussion? All right, all in favor of accepting the,
I'm going to abstain.
Carmen Carlisle, 14643 Kenwood, Dalton. I just have a question. I know it's a lot of back and forth going on, but just from my understanding, I know they have these town halls every year. So next year, when they have the town hall, will it still be unaudited numbers and will it still be the same presentation? They get the unaudited information and then it'll get audited later, so it's the same every year?
Yes, and it's the requirement of the statute.
Okay.
And I mean, believe me, it would be much more preferable to have the audited reports done so we don't have so many questions and concerns and we have exact numbers, but this is meant to be a snapshot of where the administration believes things are at right now.
And the reason they do this now is because it's a state statute, so they couldn't wait until after the audit to do this process?
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
is there any additional discussion?
Not really.
Okay, all in favor of accepting the general fund report, please raise your hand.
Damn.
Find out what happened if we just
Right.
All right, you can let your paddles down. All those not in favor.
Oh, shit.
Speak on the mic.
You sound not in favor.
All those not in favor of accepting the general fund report, please raise your paddle.
There's some people who didn't even vote. This is the same problem that they're having with like general elections and shit. People are right there in the crowd, not even voting. I saw there's some people who didn't put the paddle up for or against that shit. Why are you here? I don't know.
We won't be able to look at it later.
Thank you, you can lower your paddles.
It's a lie anyway.
Now we'll have the road and bridge fund.
I'm sorry, y'all.
They can make up anything.
The motion failed.
Yeah, Tiffany left this township in a knot, bro. In a fucking
Is this one
knot.
written by Hunt as well?
Yes, all of these reports were
Okay.
prepared by Rob Hunt.
Okay.
Sorry, I got the question all the time, so I want to make sure.
That's why we don't recognize this lady. This is Rob Hunt's report. So it's basically like, you know, in high school when the test was on Friday and you got sick on Friday and you didn't show up, you know, you got quote unquote sick on Friday. If your teacher knew that shit was bullshit, she would just fail your ass. Or she would let you take the test, but the highest you could get is like a C+ no matter what your grade is. It's basically like a pass-fail. They used to go crazy on us. Like, it might work out every once in a while. Like, oh, I got sick. Oh, I didn't. Oh, it was on Wednesday. Oh, my God. My tummy was so... Robert Hunt pulled the high school test day method. And nothing happens? Nothing happens of it. He just gets to stay. Man, listen. I feel like there's got to be some type of criminal punishment for people who's fucking around with finances, especially the people who draft up the report of nonsense. What did they say? It was $270-something thousand for outreach. Imagine that's the pay, that's what it's paid to. One word, outreach. What the fuck is that? That's all them flat screen TVs, I ain't gonna lie. And that's a BMW. No, let me stop.
I've gotten the question every time I've walked back and walked forward, so
Yeah.
I figured I'd clarify.
You okay?
That's why I didn't recognize this lady. So she's doing Robert Hunt's job. This is like the group project that you're supposed to do, and your group teammate didn't show up, so you have to do it. Shit's fucked up. They're doing this shit like a shitty high school. They're doing this shit like they're still in high school. That's outrageous. And where's Darlene Gray Everest at? Nowhere. Shit, I haven't seen her in a year. When's the last time you saw Darlene Mountain Gray Everest? Shit. Nobody. When's the last time you saw Keith Eponymous in one of these meetings? When's the last time? Well, Krigley got arrested apparently. All the hoodlums are missing in action.
The real estate tax revenue was $729,197.71. The replacement tax revenue was $25,608.59. The total investment income was $106,096.57. The total other income was
She's there?
$38,099.24, bringing the total road and bridge revenue to $909,002.11.
Pay attention to the numbers.
The total administration department expenditures were $94,534.28. The total maintenance expenditures were $25,631.34. The total permanent road expenditures were $208,465.86. $3,000,000.96, bringing the total road and bridge expenditures to $328,631.58, bringing the total net change in fund balance to $580,370.53. The total assets were $3,291,513.01. The total liabilities were $729,301.66. And then the ending fund balance was $2,562,211.35. The total cash on hand as of February 28th, 2025 was $943,388.36. And the total investments on hand were $1,624,473.83. The total 2024 Road and Bridge Fund tax levy was $883,946, and the total of the indebtedness was $37,200.
You said in a perfect world, Tiffany would drop a diss track on my head tonight. Shit, she did say she had some new heat coming. She said she had a whole new song. She said she might drop it today. And that day was a week ago. So, hey, you never know. Maybe the song is taking a little... Maybe that's why she didn't show up. She needs to finish her song. You know, she was feeding the people. Now she's feeding the streets. Part 2, Volume 2, Tiffany Henyard, the people's mayor. Feeding the streets and shitting on AG Tactical. That shit would probably go hard. But who knows? Who knows what Tiffany's doing while she's absent? I do think she's blowing down a fat backwood, throwing back some what's that cheap ass whiskey? What's that cheap ass that E&J? She's throwing back some of that E&J, the big bottle. You know what I'm saying? And a nice blunt. That's what she's doing while she's crying and watching this shit.
$62.45. Also, you will find on page 13 that there is a list of tools, machinery, equipment that are valued at excess of $200, listed with the description, the VIN number, and what condition these
Who says she a classy girl?
Thank you. Is there a motion to accept the Road and Bridge Fund as presented?
We have discussion first, no?
Motion and second, and then discussion.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the Road and Bridge Fund. Valerie Stubbs, 14801 Chicago Road.
What's up, Fire Pixie? What's up, Big Dog?
It's always gonna be Chicago.
You said her face is numb. Man, Tiffany's having a time right now. She need to come back to LA and have a good old time.
Right.
Dan Lee, 15249 Dante, Dalton, Illinois. For the purposes of us getting out of here tonight, I'd like to second that motion.
Thank you. Is there any discussion?
So I would like to ask the question, in the event the residents don't accept this road and bridge, will there be any penalty to Thornton Township for anyone that we have not accepted, we voted no on?
No, there's really no penalty that I'm aware of. It would not be placed technically on file. It would still basically be a public record, but it would have a notation on there that would say not accepted on file.
No.
At annual town meeting on today's date.
Thank you.
Y'all said she's snorting coke is crazy. I was being nice with the E&J, but you know sometimes you get the sleepies off of the alcohol. And what
742 Evans Court.
what do you do when you get the sleepies, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen? You know, you just get you get a substance that keeps you going. That's what you do. It's white like baby powder, but it's not baby powder, you know. It's something else.
In Illinois. On page 7 of 13, it has the administration expenditures, and it has salaries as $5,561.26. That's for an entire year?
I'm sorry?
That's for an entire year?
That's my understanding, it's supposed to be, yeah, that's the way it's reflected.
Hold on, what? Hold on.
For an entire year? And it has salary 7, Kiana Belcher, 742 Evans Court, Dalton, Illinois. On page 7 of 13, it has the administration expenditures, and it has salaries as $5,561.26. That's for an entire year?
I'm sorry?
That's for an entire year?
That's my understanding, it's supposed to be, yeah, that's the way it's reflected.
They're reporting that they.
The salary is $5,561.26.
So that's,
I don't know if that includes
For everybody?
the highway commissioner himself, or if that's somewhere reflected maybe in the general fund. But yeah, that is what was presented by Director Hunt.
Okay, thank you.
That doesn't make any sense. Who's getting paid $5,000 for the year? Hold on, I'll be right back. Angel, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing, dog? Oh, you're trying to get your. Nah, you're trying to get your toy. Wait, the toys are here though. Acting crazy. Yeah, but you see what I'm saying, right? Nothing's making sense. And Tiffany was able to mask this and probably fix it later. We'll amend it later. So she's been masking this bullshit for years.
It's South Holland, Illinois, 15475 Merrill Avenue. The question that was asked, if we don't approve the numbers, it won't show on public record, but you said that it will show on some public record with a notation, right?
So under the Local Records Act, the township is required to keep certain public records until they're allowed to destroy them.
What's up, Marlene? I appreciate you.
Certain requests and provisions that are found in the Local Records Act. And this would still be considered a public record. It would just
Said the
have
belch was a
notation
power
on it
move.
not accepted on file at today's annual town meeting.
Okay, so if it's gonna appear on public record anyway, will we be able to search this information up as normal if we were to not vote on it today? If it's a public, if we're voting for it to appear on public record and we're not voting as well, will it still appear as if we were going to search for it just like any other record, even if we don't pass it today? You see what I'm saying?
In my opinion, it would still be a FOIA-able document. It's also currently on the township's website as a township.
What's up,
record,
Michael
so I don't
Warren?
see
I
why it
appreciate
would
you.
not be-
Okay, because I'm just concerned that we won't be
I
able to
immediately wanted some Kentucky, bro. I ain't gonna lie, Michael.
search it later as we would anything else. That means that the new administration will be able to come in and rearrange the numbers if we can't find what we're looking for. Of course, we can always FOIA it. Of course, we don't know if we're gonna get it, but, I just think it'd be feasible if we're able to search it just like any other record. But I wanted to make sure it's clear that the residents can see what we had in
Oh, we got
2024,
a
at least
copy of it.
what we went through up until 2025, versus what it's gonna be for the remainder of this next year coming in.
Thank you. Is there any additional discussion?
Where is she?
what
Where is
we
she? You
have
said,
in
look,
the pa-
Everett. Okay, shit. I must be blind to Darlene. I don't even know what her face really looks like because her face is always covered with that damn mask. Is this her? No, that's not her. Is that her? Shit.
Packet is the same thing that would be online, right?
Yeah, so the question was, what you guys have in the packet, is that the same thing that's online? And the answer is yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Any additional discussion?
Wait. Is she? Hold on. I keep.
Is that the same thing that's on?
Oh, there she is. My bad. She's been there. She's just so timid and quiet all the time. I never notice her. Hand all over her face and shit. She's there. Damn, there she is. Damn, okay. She's been there. I just didn't even realize her.
Online, and the answer is
It's the posture for me. I haven't even seen her face. It's just the posture. That's how you know it's Darlene.
Okay. Thank you.
Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of accepting the Road and Bridge Fund report as presented, please raise your paddle.
Show the crowd.
Oh, is it? We don't need to accept it. I don't want to accept it.
At least we can find what we're looking for. We do instead of going through 4 years.
Well, I don't think the lawyer is trying to
Accept
screw
the
anybody.
Road and Bridge Fund, please raise your paddles nice and high.
Oppose. The yeas have it.
I do have to say I hate this voting system. I think it makes zero sense. It's stupid. It's archaic. What the fuck are we doing? Are we in like the Roman days to where it's like raise your like what the fuck is going on? You know, you put your raise your thumb if you agree, or put your thumb down if you're like what the fuck is going on? Like we're in 2025. You don't have like tablets or some shit where everybody can like click their vote. This shit is so. You spent $200,000 on outreach. You couldn't get some fucking tablets for the meetings? I don't know.
You up?
What? I said nay. I'm sorry. I apologize.
What are you doing, Vicky?
It really don't matter because they inflated numbers anyway. Nah.
The next item is a motion to place a referendum question on the March 17, 2026 primary election ballot.
The fuck is going on? They're
Shall
really
the state-
raising their fucking paddles. You know what I could do? I could put my head, I could go down a little bit lower and I could raise my paddle twice. Like how the fuck are they gonna know? It's so stupid. I could raise my paddle 3 times. They only voted twice, but fuck it, I'm raising it the 3rd time. Like this shit don't make no goddamn sense. We could have like a row of we could have 3 rows. Everybody line up and take your vote. You click for, you click against. Everybody sit the fuck back down now. There you go. I don't know man, this is 2025, the United States of America. What the fuck is going on? I am confused, but
State of Illinois, which has the 2nd highest property taxes in the nation, deliver annual property tax rebates to the more than 3 million residential property taxpayers in Illinois.
Can't hear you
Clearly. Sorry,
can't hear you, dog.
I'll start over.
Yes.
Please, big
The
dog.
next item is a motion to place a referendum question on the March 17, 2026 primary election ballot. The proposed question reads as follows: shall the state of Illinois, which has the 2nd highest property taxes in the nation, deliver annual property tax rebates to the more than 3 million residential property taxpayers in Illinois, as provided for in the Illinois Property Tax Relief Fund Act of 2019? Is there a motion to approve the placement of this question on the ballot?
And if I may also, just to give a little bit of background before we get the motion, this is an advisory
This is
question,
Thornton.
and which means that it's not binding, but it's basically.
This is so fucking cringy. You know what I really realized, man? It doesn't matter where you go. I don't know if that's what they do for everybody. Maybe it is, but if you look in the background, I feel like Tiffany edited this shit just to have her name. If you look in the background, you see the Thornton Township logo. And it says Thornton Township established by blah, 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 blah. Below it says Tiffany Henyard, supervisor. All around the fucking room. Something tells me that Tiffany added that little flair at the bottom. I could be wrong.
Polling the residents, if it gets on the ballot, polling the residents to say, do you agree with this or do you not agree with this? And in addition to that, the way, just so everybody understands, the way that this got placed on the agenda, the way that got placed on the agenda was a document with a request for this question to be on the agenda was signed by 15 or more electors of the township.
Casey Nesbitt, 15125 Ashland, Harvey, Illinois. I move that we place this referendum on the ballot.
Valerie Stubbs, 14801, Martin Luther King, Dalton, Illinois. I second that motion.
We got it.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
No discussion?
If there's no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carries.
We here.
Don't spend it all in one place.
Right.
Look at that Lexus.
There's nothing to discuss in regards to the resolution to dispose of personal property, so we will skip that item.
And just to be clear, there is no resolution. No resolution for the disposal.
The disposal of personal property.
Can we talk about it?
There's no
Oh,
resolution.
so we can't have discussion?
There's no resolution.
There's nothing put in.
Oh,
there's
so
nothing
they're
put
gonna,
in it.
they're
There's
gonna,
no proposal right now from.
They're not
oh,
trying to do
okay,
it.
okay.
Dispose of property,
Yeah,
so
they're not
there's no
trying to do it.
resolution.
So they're not gonna,
There's no action needed on that whatsoever.
they're just gonna dispose it?
No, there's nothing to
Under
dispose.
law, you can't
Oh,
just
they're not.
dispose of property
Okay,
without going
okay.
through, you have to
That's
approve
all.
a resolution.
Okay.
So what we're saying is that there is no property that the township officials,
Wants to.
the current township officials are seeking to dispose of, so
Okay.
there is no resolution. So
Okay.
that, we put that on generally as a placeholder because the agenda has to be approved so far in advance.
He's
Okay.
saying okay so much I can't even hear the explanation.
There is nothing for that item. That's why that item is being skipped.
Okay. 'Cause them bikes nice, huh?
Okay, we'll now schedule the next annual township meeting. Is there
No.
a motion to schedule the 2026 annual township meeting for Tuesday, April 14th, 2026 at 6:00 p.m.?
Aye.
We need a motion.
Oh.
I'd like to make a motion that we schedule the next town hall meeting for the date that you stated.
Tuesday, April 14th, 2026.
Natalie Gilbert, 630 East 144th Place, Dalton, Illinois, and I do second that motion.
Thank you.
Emotion.
Secondary
It's
motion.
been
That's my
moved and
song.
seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries.
Woo woo.
So we now open the floor for public comments. Please approach the microphone, state your name, and please try to limit your remarks to 3 minutes.
Yeah, 3 minutes.
I ain't got nothing to say.
Are you going off the
And
sheet?
also, just to let everyone know, there is, after this meeting, there is another meeting at 7 PM. That's the regular board meeting. And there will also be a public comment period during the regular board meeting as well.
You say sign in or I can walk up?
No, no.
Just come on up, ma'am.
All right.
My name is Naomi Lopresto. My name is Naomi Lopresto, the 67 and Dalton. I'm not?
No.
Get close to
Just
it.
a little closer to the mic.
Get
Yeah.
personal.
No, just get a little closer. Oh, okay. Am I personal now?
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
I walked in probably at the end of this.
Michael Warren, thank you for the 5. I appreciate
They
you.
agree on
The big super sticker.
Department of Youth Services. Isn't that supposed to be Kamal's, little area? So why did everybody vote yes for that?
Okay, so we can,
Can somebody-
she wanted to know why we voted yes.
I wanna know why we voted, why didn't no one question about Department of Youth Services?
There was already a department before he came in.
Right. It's still
They
gonna be a
already had
department. So those are inflated numbers, basically. And,
So when we come back April the third, whatever that is, this is gonna change, it won't be the same
It may change.
next year.
next year?
So next year, there'll be a whole nother report that'll be similar to this, it'll be unaudited, it'll be different numbers, obviously, because it'll be different things that may have happened, different administration, they may cut certain things, they may add certain things. So the report will be similar in form, possibly, but different in content.
Well, I want you to let you know, you gotta weigh real good this time.
I'm sorry?
Y'all gotta weigh real good this time. That's what I said, y'all gotta weigh real good this time. Because I don't know the numbers from last year to compare to this year, for one thing. Next of all, I hope next year that everything be more in order. Do not come presenting us with stuff that you have not looked at. We are not in a
It's not their fault. It's Tiffany's fault. Yo, Monica, thank you for the 8 months. Everybody shout Monica out. AG Mods in chat, I appreciate y'all. Oh, you said thank you. I appreciate you, Monica.
candy store. You are not gonna continue to come do it, and I pray that you're not here next time.
Whoa.
Type shit.
You need to be gone.
That's crazy. She is kind of an aloof fucking airhead sometimes, isn't she? The damn lawyer. I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, I don't understand. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, when? I'm sorry, what do you mean? Can you repeat? I'm sorry. She is kind of fucking annoying at times. I don't know if she needs to be gone, but sometimes she seems to not know what the fuck is happening. But hey, you know, we're all human. We're all human at the end of the day, you know.
Talking about Robert.
Oh, she talking
Yeah, she don't know who she really should be talking, but she directing towards whoever is in charge of that.
No, she's not. She's directing it to whoever's in charge. No, the fuck she's not. She's talking to the lawyer. Listen to him trying to cope in the background. Oh no, actually, she's talking figuratively about the administration and anybody. No, she was talking to the lawyer.
She was talking about Robert.
Oh, she talking about.
Yeah, she don't know who she really should be talking, but she directing towards whoever is in charge of that.
She's directing it towards whoever's in charge. All right, big dog. Who the fuck is talking in the background next to her? All right, big dog. My whole shit froze. I think my mouse froze. Oh, my mouse died. What the hell?
Anybody else?
My mouse completely. Whoa. Never happened before.
Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Okay.
My mouse died.
And I'm Sharon Carter, 16301 Kenwood, and I second it.
There we go.
Y'all did good.
Yo, what's up, Jimmy?
Hi.
Motion carries. This meeting is adjourned.
Yeah.
Everybody stay for the second.
I know, right.
That's when you beat up people.
Uh-oh.
Right, that's the real question. That's why I ain't asked one.
Give us a minute.
Okay. Well, that was the meeting. So the regular meeting hasn't even begun yet. I guess we're gonna be doing that as well. Give me a minute. Let me find my charger for this remote, for this mouse. That should do her. That should do her. Irish pastry. Thank you for the 12 months. Hold on, I'm gonna thank you properly. A whole year. Stop playing with it. So Griller? Irish Pastry in here for 1 whole year. I appreciate you for your membership, Miss Irish Pastry. Shout you out big time. AG and gang love. I love you too. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for being an awesome part of the show, awesome part of the channel. Wait, I'm actually behind. I think the meeting might be
Your
over.
paddles to the 25, the time.
Oh yeah, I was right. So I talked long enough to let them go into break, and now the actual meeting has begun. So again, will Tiffany Henyard show up? You know. What's up, KB?
Hey, how you doing?
Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. We got my man in the suit.
I'll say we just walked in the building. I ain't good with the Zoom and stuff.
He paid them something like.
You say Robert is in Tiffany Trump.
You said she's not going to show up. She's done with this. I will say, to be fair, Tiffany, to be fair, that was nothing for Tiffany to show up for. So she could be showing up. No, I doubt it, man. We'll see, though. I'm a rider all the way through. I'm a rock it through. Mama ain't raised no quitter. We're going to find out what's going on with the township, with or without her. My boy showing the shoes off. This man.
I'm tired.
It is April 8th, 2025. The time is 7:27. I will call the roll.
Call the roll.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Present.
Trustee Gray Everett. Trustee Carlisle. Present. Trustee Wiedemann. Present. Supervisor Henyard.
Bro, they didn't even give Evers a fucking mic. Somebody said, why didn't she say nothing? She did. She just doesn't have a mic. That's how useless she is on the board. That's how useless this woman is. They didn't even give her a damn mic. Gonzalez has a mic. Wiedemann has a mic. Wiedemann and what's her name and Carlisle could have shared one. No, it's because there's not a damn thing for her to say. Ain't shit there for her to do. Oh my God. They didn't even give her a mic. She's the honorary trustee.
I will call the roll.
Call the roll.
Trustee Gonzalez.
I know I'm 7 minutes behind.
Trustee Gray Everett.
Present.
Trustee Carlisle. Present. Trustee Wiedemann. Present. Supervisor Henyard.
Present. That's how she sounds from far. Present.
Can we please stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance? As the Supervisor Pro Tem? Second. Trustee Wiedemann? Yes. Trustee Carlisle?
They're just voting to have what's his name as Supervisor Pro Temp. Mr. smiles a lot and doesn't say anything.
Yes.
Mr. Gonzalez.
Supervisor Henry. Motion passed.
Right, thank you. Next on the agenda, we have public comments.
First is it Janelle Taylor?
All right, we're going to skip to present time since this is just public comment.
Supervisor Pro Tem Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Correct. Next, we have approval of the bills for the General Assistance Fund. Is there a motion to approve?
So I would like to make a motion to approve the bills excluding items 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, asking that we would permanently remove those items. They have been placed on the agenda before, but they weren't in compliance with the image ordinance, and that's why they were moved to begin with. So I'm asking that we would exclude those bills and permanently remove those from the bill list and pay the remaining bills.
I'll second.
There's a motion and second. Any discussion? All right, call the roll, please.
Trustee Carlisle?
Yes.
Trustee Wiedemann?
Yes.
Trustee Gray Everett? Supervisor Pro Tem Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion passed.
I don't know why Trustee Darlene Gray Everest isn't standing on business. She knows that Tiffany wouldn't want her to vote that way. Why are you voting to have those image ordinances and those signs and all that shit permanently removed? Why are you voting yes, Darlene? See? Man, listen, Tiffany might go on Facebook Live and do a whole rant talking shit about Darlene just because of that move. How are you folding under the pressure? Tiffany, remember Tiffany said don't fold, fight. Continue to fight. Remember that, right? Darlene's not fighting.
Right, next, under approval of bills, we have approval of Road and Bridge Fund bills. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve Road and Bridge.
Second.
All right, there's a motion and second. Any discussion? All right, call the roll, please.
Trustee Wiedemann?
Yes.
Trustee Carlisle?
Yes.
Trustee Gray Everett? Supervisor Pro Tem Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right. Next, we have old business. I don't believe there's anything under old business, correct? All right, and next we have resolutions, proclamations, and ordinances. I don't believe we have anything under there either. Correct? Correct. Next on the agenda, we have new business. Item A, motion to approve the Illinois Township Association of General Assistance Caseworkers Conference registration fee, overnight hotel accommodation, and stipend for food and gas for possibly 3 caseworkers. One caseworker who sits on the board of the ITA GAC will stay 2 nights. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Right, there's a motion and second. Any discussion? Right, call the roll, please.
Trustee Wiedemann?
Yes.
Trustee Carlisle?
Yes.
Trustee Gray Everett? Supervisor Pro Tem Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right, item B under new business, request for proposal for IT services. Is there a motion? There be no motion.
What's happening?
If there's no motion, then you just pass on to the next item.
Okay, so there be no motion, we'll be moving on. Next on the agenda is closed session. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
Wow, it's crazy how
Yes,
quick these meetings
I'll
end.
make a motion to go into closed session to discuss the hiring, discipline, performance, compensation, and dismissal of certain personnel, legal counsel, acquisition of real property, matters pending, probable or imminent litigation pursuant to section 2C1, 2C5, and 2C11 of the Open Meeting Act. Also to discuss security procedures, school building safety and security, and the use of personnel and equipment to respond to an actual, a threatened, or a reasonably potential danger to the safety of employees, students, staff, the public, or public property pursuant to the section 2C8 of the Open Meetings Act.
I'll second.
All right, there's a motion and second. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Carlisle? Yes. Trustee Wiedemann?
Yes.
Trustee Gray Everett?
Yes.
Supervisor Pro Temp Gonzalez?
Yes.
Motion passed. 7:41, we'll go into closed session.
Yeah, I knew this was gonna be pretty short-lived. I'm not doing this. They're gonna come back and say they fired a bunch of people and they're about to do something and then they're about to end it. So I'm probably gonna end it right here. Tiffany didn't show up, which is crazy. And like Cooking with Frank said, I wish we were able to actually go inside. You know what I'm saying? I wish we were able to actually go inside the room and see what they discussed, but sadly we're not able to do that. Tiffany didn't show up, and she has no power anymore, so it's all over. Keep in mind, she is going to say something online very soon. That's going to happen. But that's pretty much it for me. They're going to come back. Make sure you guys check out Hannibal. He'll probably stay on until it's over. Make sure you check out Vivian Allen. She'll stay on for sure. She's streaming for the gang. She's streaming for everybody. Shout her out. But other than that, folks, I'm going to go get something to eat. I'm hungry as shit. I hope you guys have a great Tuesday, man. I hope you guys have a great Tuesday. And we're going to get back to business tomorrow. I'm going to drop a video. It's going to be good. I'm excited about it. Make sure you email me if you have any inquiries. No, I'm playing. If you have any stories or whatever, make sure you email me. I got a few emails today, so I'm about to go and check that out in a minute. Michael, thank you for coming out. I know you be working, y'all be busy. You guys be having busy ass days and shit. I appreciate you guys for coming out and just hanging out with me. I'm here all week. Or I might be here all decade. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So come tap in, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Go to the second channel, watch the fucking videos and shit. You know what I'm saying? Fuck with me. The long way. The only way. I'm going to be back soon, folks. I'm out. Peace. Love you guys.